Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video we are going to look into another logic which is related to the same concept that we have already done before, which is fill date. So we are going to fill the date between a range, and that concept is also followed in HR dashboards. So in some of the times you might need that the dates has to be generated. So to explain you this particular data, I have created a small Excel that will help you understand. Over to here I have employee ID, name, joining date and terminated date. So if you have a use case where you need to generate the date for all the employees till they are terminated. For example, from joining date to terminated date for employee ID 1 for employee name A will be from 6 to 2019 to end of the year, which will be 12/1/2019. Okay, so this will generate the data of that particular employee from 6 to 12 months. That means around 6 months data. And the concept is that you have to flag that particular person was active on between all those dates and was inactive at that particular date. So at that particular point of time, that person became inactive. That means he is no more in your organization. But from this date, he was present. Okay. So if you have that, and let's say this particular line, which is ID 5. So over to this, we can directly say that that particular person was active. So the logic can be that the same joining date is going to come here. So you will have that person is active throughout. Or you can actually add today over here and generate the days till today. So that is again one of the concept that you can follow. But for this video, I am just going to add the joining date over here and we will just flag it. Okay. So over to here, I have the same data in the inline script. And now to do that, first logic will be to understand this particular part, which is the fifth line where terminated date is null, empty. Okay. That is your first logic. So I am going to follow a format that I personally follow. Is I will just write everything in preceding load. Over to here, I will start writing that first logic, or I can just take all the columns first. Okay. And then I will start writing the logic for the same. So for terminated date, I want if my terminated date, the function is called as is null, or I will just say length. Okay, I'm just improvising that you can actually use either way, or you can use both the things, or the length trim of this particular column is equal to 0. Okay, then you can give me join date. Okay, else you can just give me the terminated date. Okay, I'll just add 0 for now. Sorry, missing bracket. So bracket was solved. So I can just write in terminated date over here. But this particular format of the date is in DDMMYYY. Okay, I am just going to add it over here. So it's date, month and year. So just to be safe, I am going to write in date hash that particular column like this, and I will just convert it into the original date that it is going to come from. I'm just doing some basic formatting. Same thing I'll do for the terminated date as well. I'm going to just copy and paste it over here. Okay, now I have the terminated column over there, and to just to filter it and understand it is working or not, I'm going to copy this condition over here like this, and I'm going to write 1 comma 0. Okay, as I will just say active flag like this. Okay, so why active flag is, I'm just going to understand that if my terminated date is empty or not. Okay, for that I'm just creating a column called as active flag. So you can obviously take a resident and then you can write everything there and you can drop the main table, or you can write it into the preceding load. Okay, this is a part of an optimization process where you have to understand where you have to use resident or preceding. In this case, preceding load will work fine. So I'm going to use preceding load for these type of situations. That will keep your data and keep your backend much more optimized. So let's going forward over to here. I can start. Okay, I forgot one thing is to actually format this joining date also. Okay, just to be safe. And now let's copy all these columns here. So I'm going to copy this column again into my preceding load over here like this. And now I will start by adding the logic for creating the date using the while loop that we have created in the previous section, which is like this. Okay, so we have used left join to add minimum and maximum date. Over to here we already have the minimum date, which is joining date, and maximum date, which is the terminated date. So one step is actually not present over to the previous solution that we actually did. We have the max date over here, so we are directly going to jump over that. So over to here I will start writing my calendar code. So I'll say joining date, I will say num of joining date plus iter number plus 1. Okay, and I will say as employee active date. Okay, like this, and we'll start writing the while loop. So in the while loop the same thing will actually come, and will add more than equal to the terminated date, which is num of that one terminated date. So this will generate the data, so we don't need the joining date here. We have got the dates. So when we reload this, now as you can see the data is generated 1000 lines, and now we create a table where we are going to have the employee ID, name, and the active date. And when we actually select, let's say A, and I will just take this table a little big. Now we have from 4/6 to 1/12/2019. Okay, so just to be sure, I'm going to add the joining date here like this. Reload, add the joining date, switch 22 to 2019. For employee ID B, I'm going to select A. So it's 2/6/2019. So a basic mistake that I did was in the calendar, instead of -1, I actually did a +1. So over to here, as you see, we have that wrong. And now we have the proper code. So in the previous video also, I did make a mistake of adding a -1, a +1, so it's a -1. So I have just rectified that. So let's go on. So over to here, now I have the dates for that particular employee. Let's start by adding the active or inactive. So the simple thing that we can do is, I know employee ID 5. I'm going to select that. As you know, we have just created that this employee was active from this date to this joining date. Okay, directly you want to say that this is active. If you feel like the use case is like that, this particular employee should be active till date, like today, the simple thing that you can actually do is remove this joining date and just write today function. And when you reload, the reload will take a lot of time. So now from 1000 to 7000 line of data, and now when I see employee ID, now I have the dates. Okay, till date. Okay, so now we can start by adding the active flag. So active flag, we already have this active flag here. So if the terminated date is not empty, okay, then we have given it 0. So if it is 0, then I'll say it is active, or else it is not active. Very simple. Okay, we have already created that. So over to here, 1, or we can just write in inactive. Okay, like this, and it will work just fine. I will just say active or inactive like this. Let's reload and check. So active and inactive. I will select employee ID. As you can see, 5 is already selected. Till the data is there, it is showing active, and now it automatically started showing inactive for that, because the joining date because of the condition that we have applied. Okay, because today is actually the same date. That means, as per the logic here, when this particular date is less than or equal to terminated date till yesterday, that person is active. Automatically it is creating that user as inactive now. To rectify that, we can add a condition which will fix this issue like this. So I am going to write if like this, active flag is equal to 1, then give me active, and a bracket is missing. Okay, and now let's reload. As you can see, that issue is fixed now. Okay, that issue is fixed. So if I just select employee ID 1, I will now see inactive now for him. Okay, so the issue is solved and we have the logic in place. So this is how the HR logic is actually created. It is a little tricky over here, where active and inactive flag is to be added from the backend. Yes, you can use set analysis in front end and you can actually achieve that. But my job is to uh, do a little more optimization also and try to explain you guys that optimization is the key that will help you optimize your front end in coming future. So this is all for this video. I'm going to meet you in the next one.